Morning, Darrell.
Morning.
First of all, just wanted to get a bit of what you thought of the squad over the first couple of games you've been in charge now. Perhaps that you didn't know when you first came in the door that you've gleaned over the past week and crucially in two match day environments as well.
There's too many injury table.
Really?
Yeah, there is. Yeah, there's too many in the injury table. But nah, that aside, effort, commitment's been good. The spirit looks good. Just obviously two very committed performances, that's for sure. But lacking in that bit of quality that you need to win football matches. So they're buying into that. They're buying into what we're trying to improve on the training pitch, and obviously we want to see that quality in the performance with the commitment over the next coming games.
I suppose the big question is that it's kind of your job to instill that into them. So from a manager's perspective, how do you go about doing that?
I'm working hard on the training pitch, doing your patterns, your possession drills, working in opportunities of where you're going to hurt the opposition with bits of quality, working on plenty of finishing, plenty of final third play. There's loads of things that goes into winning a football match, set pieces, being better, all those things are going to get you a goal or two.
What about I know you talked on Tuesday about the mix-up of the squad, the makeup of the squad. What do you take from that, from when you're going forward now that you perhaps have to address? I know you said about having one defensive midfielder.
You've got to adapt, haven't you? You know, at the end of the day, you've got to adapt. For me, I find it astonishing that there's 30 players with one defensive midfielder in the lineup. So I find that very astounding. That's not going to change. But then as a manager, you've got to adapt to that, work with that, and work with the players that we've got. So that's not a problem. Me ever understanding that decision, I never will be able to. But we work with it, we adapt to it. You know, Tom dropped into the deep line midfield. Took a little bit of time to get going in that position after George got off, but then he adapted to it, and that's what I need my players to do. Each game adapt to the different circumstances that come within the game.
Without giving the game away, do you have an idea of what you want to do to cover that area that you've said is undercovered at the moment?
I wouldn't be worth my manager, would I, if I didn't have an idea, did I? So come on, let's talk common sense, really, to be honest with you. There's going to be ideas, isn't there? There's going to be ideas. You're making sure we get the right ideas and the players perform to their capabilities and adapt along the way, but the professional footballers, so they should be adaptable. So we'll see how that goes.
And you do have plenty of players who can play in that, if you like, centre midfield role as well, don't you? So you do have options in there.
Yeah, well, we're talking about defensive midfielders now. We've got six right-footed number 8s at the club. You know, like deep line midfielders, we've got Luke Joyce. So we have to adapt to that. Players that are more of an attacking number 8, they have to adapt in the defensive-minded role in the deep line, obviously. And like I said, Tom dropped in with where Luke was the other day and did a decent job.
You've got a team that's pretty free-flowing. They're top of the league. They're quite confident. You know, when you are preparing a set of players, what do you do to get them in the mindset to face a team like that?
I do what I've done every day as I do as a manager, preparing for the next challenge that Cambridge bring. They've obviously flying high at the top of the table, but this league for me is very, very similar. Anybody can beat anybody. You've only got to look at the results in midweek. That's the way of League Two is. The more consistent are up there for a reason, because you show that more consistency and find ways and different ways of winning games to score goals. You know, Cambridge is going to be a tough test, but certainly not one I'm thinking, top of the table coming here. We want to get at them, get after them, and put on a good performance.
Do you look at not just this, but the fixtures like this, that you want the players to come out and show you what they are capable of against teams that are going to be confident and playing well?
Any fixture, not just this fixture, every game. I want them to see what they're capable of doing and performing. So whether that's against top of the table or bottom of the table. So every single game you want to see how they perform.
In terms of the last two games, Adam Crook's come back in the side, played a couple of different positions, got a lot of plaudits on Tuesday. How pleased are you with how he's done for you?
Defended well. Distribution's got to be a lot better, but defended well. I think the team over the course of the two games defended particularly well. We've got to keep that going, but then we've got to show the qualities that they're capable of doing on the ball. And that was certainly lacking for me in midweek from both teams, to be honest with you. But my focus is our team, and we certainly lack that quality like I said, effort, commitment, I thought was fantastic, but nowhere near the qualities that we want to be showing.
Has your plan been to just shore things up at the back and stop conceding first and then build from there, really?
Yeah, assessing it. Like I said, obviously Luke coming out of the team as well, working on things, assessing it, looking at every player within the course of the squad, and making sure that we're prepared in every single game we play, Mike, to be honest with you. So we want to be a lot better going forward, that's for sure.
I think one thing we've noticed is you've been really forthright in your comments, straightforward, talked about fitness and quality and so on. Is that just your style, or are you sort of testing the players now? You just come in?
They say how it is. Some people think certain things should be kept in house and whatnot, but I don't. When I speak to the press, my players know my point of view. They'll always know my point of view. Exactly what I come and told you guys after was how I felt in the change rooms. Real pleased with the effort and commitment, but the quality was nowhere near good enough, lads. And they get told that they're better than that, and we got to show that in our next performance. Always the next game. So the next game, the last game, commitment, great. Performance got to be better on the ball to cause the opposition more problems. And
you spoke to Phil there about having 16 massive games. That's how you see it. You don't see Vale sort of drifting towards mid-table. Still a lot to play for.
No, listen, we're fighting and scrapping away, aren't we? That's where the situation we're in. I think I've been in these sort of experiences before. There's no pulling the wool over my eyes. We've got to make sure that the commitment and effort's there every single game and get as many points as we possibly can and fight our way up the top of the table. Sometimes it ain't going to be pretty. It's about getting the results that enables us to kick on and then rebuild.
Okay. I appreciate you said to Phil it's all about Cambridge in the next 16 games, but I would just like to talk about one thing in the summer. It looks like squad sizes could be down to 20, which will be a bit of a challenge for a lot of managers, and especially at Vale. Do you see that as an opportunity?
I know what you're saying, Mike, and people want to jump on, but there's still a third of the season left to go, and we're discussing already what about the summer's going to look like. I've also always got an eye on the plans moving forward for this football club. But it's the here and now that we need to focus on.